BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, and I decided to help out the Sinister One and step in and just help him out. And so this is Thursday night review, and this is, of course, VHS82 apostrophe. I'm your normal Wednesday night reviewer, but tonight I'm gonna bring you just a quick review, if that's possible, of course, of Bad Dreams. And this is the 88 release, and I just watched this for the first time in a very long time, coincidentally, and maybe perhaps not so coincidentally, but a blast. Yeah, just a few thoughts on this film. First, this is directed, first 1988, Andrew Fleming, directorial debut for him. Really stars Jennifer Rubin, Bruce Abbott, Dean Cameron, Richard Lynch, of course, Harris Yulin. That's pretty much your core cast. Jennifer Rubin, of course, we know from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Bruce Abbott, Reanimator. Let's see, Dean Cameron, of course, Summer School. Chainsaw, right? Harris Yulin, I can't think of what else he's been. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff. But the interchange between him and Bruce Abbott was really, they both play doctors at this like a psychiatric institute. And so the plot, really, if you've never seen Bad Dreams, really involves the opening scene involves sort of like a mass suicide, a cult suicide, and its leader, sort of like a Jones style, played by Richard Lynch, is Harris. You know the story of these cults. He gets them all in there and builds them all up, and then leads them down this horrifying road where, in order to escape the world, I guess, they're consumed in flames. He lights the whole house right up. And but there's a girl. Of course, Jennifer Rubin plays her, and through perhaps maybe accident or not so accidental, she's sort of pushed off by the wayside, and therefore she survives. And but she's in a coma for like 13 years maybe. And when she wakes up, she's at this psychiatric institute. And enter Bruce Abbott, who's her psychiatrist, who she's in a special program, sort of a therapeutic program. You know what? It really reminds you of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. A lot of it, which is interesting. But sort of a group therapy thing. But it doesn't take long before she starts to see images of Harris, who seems to want to be calling her back into the cult via from the other side. He just will not let go. At least that is the appearance. There's more to this film than just simply we got a nasty cult with an even nastier cult leader, and everyone dies, or seemingly, and he comes back from the dead to try to pull the last one back in who's escaped. It's more than that. It's and I'm not really going to get it much further than that. But it's more than that. If you've never seen this film, you think on the one side your antagonist is Richard Lynch, but it's more than that. I guess I just need to stop right there. A couple things. I saw this in the theater back in '88, and back in the day, I mean, all you had for movie ads and stuff, of course, was in the newspaper. And I had a buddy at the time, Jeff, who worked at the newspaper, the local city newspaper, and he was in the, I'm not even sure what the department was, but it had to do with the photography and stuff. And I got him to actually blow me up a big giant sort of print of the original ad for Bad Dreams, like this big or something like that. And he did a few of those for me back when I was a kid. And that was, if you couldn't get your hands on a real poster, that was the next best thing. And so I just, you know, tacked them up to the wall and stuff. And I still have that. But I have no idea where it is. It's put away somewhere, but I need to find it. But anyways, the music, as soon as this movie starts, I was sort of just catapulted, because immediately I was reminded by the Chambers Brothers and their awesome song Time. And that is what sort of carries the narrative throughout this sort of dream logic or nightmare dream logic film narrative plot as it rolls along. And that's sort of what brings the continuity to the film, I guess. And I remember, I really had no idea who the Chambers Brothers were back when I was only 18. But I bought their tape cassette back in the day when it was tape cassettes, just for that song, because I could not get enough of that song. And but I remember eventually renting it at the video store in VHS. And for the first time, I have it in my collection now. Of course, the '88 release and the transfer. I really don't have anything to compare it to, but it looks freaking great on screen. I mean, it's hard to judge from this set screen or menu screen. And as you can see, you know, we got the trailer, we got some interviews with the director, and of course Jennifer Rubin, Spencer Murphy. There's an audio commentary as well. I can't remember who does that. Audio commentary with genre experts Nathaniel Thompson and Tim Greer from MondoDigital.com. I'm not familiar with that, but some of you may be. As far as the case, there's a reversible sleeve, alternate art. It's probably kind of hard to see it. It's not much different than the front, but it looks gorgeous. And so we to transfer the cast. Dean Cameron, of course, Chainsaw from Summer School. Man, he was a blast to watch in this film, and so much more. Just it's more substance to him in this film. I haven't really seen him a lot, but I was just thinking about a scene from Summer School. But this was great. This was great. Bruce Abbott, I haven't seen a lot of. He was great in this film. Harris Yulin, I mean, him and Bruce Abbott together, they sort of help each other and carry each other. Harris being the more veteran. Richard Lynch, of course, he played a great antagonist in Harris. And just the whole, there's scenes that you keep going back with Cynthia, Jennifer Rubin's character. You keep going back to the scene of the crime, the place where the cult was, and the suicide. And I'm telling you, some of these scenes they're just downright scary or creepy in a way. I mean, it's just to know that there are people who have done this type of thing. It is just kind of unnerving a little bit. I think I've pretty hit the plot. The music, the end credits, Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses comes on. It's almost perfect. But there was an argument between the director, Fleming, and the producer, I think, over what song should go on the end credit roll. And I can't remember that specifically, but it just seemed like there was an argument that the director had to give in on that. But I mean, look, it's a classic, and I think it fits. It fits nice. I mean, the minute that film ends, it's like right into Guns N' Roses, and it just fits. Kind of an interesting contrast with the Chambers Brothers. I mean, some classic old stuff, and then you're hit with Guns N' Roses at the end. But yeah, so I think this is my first review of anything out of my '88 collection. And so the first one is just a nice revisiting of an old film that I remember as a kid going to the theater to see. I wasn't sure how this film was going to stack up in terms, you know, sometimes you revisit things and you haven't seen them in a long time, but man, from start to finish, this was just a purely entertaining film, but with more substance than I was expecting. I had a good time with it, and I'm definitely going to watch it again and with the commentary on and just kind of delve in, but it was nice to be able to just revisit something and sort of get that feeling like, man, yeah, that's why I like this film when I was like, that's why I remember this film as a kid. And not every film's like that. And of course, Bad Dreams also just sort of comes in right after Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and you have a few films that are playing off on that nightmare dream logic kind of thing. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know what else I can say, but if it's been a while, revisit. If you've never seen it, somehow find a way to see it. I don't know if it's streaming on, I don't know if you can find it on Prime or Shudder or Netflix. I'm not sure if it's streaming anywhere, but definitely give it a recheck. This was a really fun film. The character cast, the casting, the transfer, just the cinematography actually was pretty. There's scenes when you're approaching the house, the scene of the crime, when she goes into sort of the dream aspect, and as you're, you know, between the Chambers brothers and just how good the transfer is, as you approach this pretty creepy house. It all works. In fact, there's moments where you just want it to continue, but it doesn't. It just sort of stops and you veer off into another direction, and then maybe you come back. And I forgot to say this. When she wakes up out of the coma and she begins her therapy sessions, as Harris begins to reemerge in her subconscious and becomes more than that to her, it begins to have an impact, an effect on the others who are in this therapy study. And I'll just leave it at that. I mean, yeah, it's Jennifer Rubin, what a blast to watch her. I thought her role in this was it just was more substantive, I think, than Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And she plays a great character in that. But there just seems to be a little bit more going on here. And when you have a few veteran actors like Harris Yulin and Richard Lynch, you know, you're going to get something a little bit better, I think, in terms of substance and story, and the gore sequences are not as near as severe as I thought or remembered them being. So it's pretty light, maybe, I guess. I don't know. You'd have to determine that on your own. But anyways, so there it is for the Sinister 1 Thursday review for BodyBags. This is VHS82'. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of the week as it unfolds. And as always, go Bills.